Here are some selected answers to problems in this assignment, which is solving nonlinear systems. It says solve each system by graphing, check your answer. So here is the system. I'm going to go to on, graph, and I'm going to type it in. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 3, so that's a quadratic. Menu, graph entry, function, and we have 2x plus 1. And the answer will be where they both intersect. So go to menu, analyze graph, intersection, go to menu, analyze graph, intersection. So both answers are x equal 2, so we have x equals 2, and we have x equals negative 2. And the answer is going to be where they both intersect each other. Both equations intersect each other. So we're going to go ahead and solve the following system, which is number 4. We have y equals 2x squared minus 5x, and then we have y equals negative 3x plus 4. So we'll go ahead and go to new, graphs, and we have 2x squared plus minus 5x. And then we'll type in the other function. So we have negative 3x plus 4. And so where they both intersect is going to be the answer. So we have menu, analyze graph, intersection. So the answer will be x equals negative 1 and x equals 2. So I just want you to understand what we're looking at. So here is the quadratic, and here is the linear function. There's a nonlinear system. So that point is the intersection, that's the solution, and this point is the intersection, so that is a solution. Another way you can solve this system is by substitution. You notice that this equation is equal to y, and you notice as this equation is equal to y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them equal to each other. So I have negative x squared plus x plus 12 equals 2x minus 8. Now to use a quadratic formula, I'm going to have to set this equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 2x. I'm going to subtract 2x. I'm also going to add 8. I'm going to add 8. So my new equation is negative x squared minus x plus 20 equals 0. So to use a quadratic formula, I have to identify a, which is negative 1, b, which is negative 1, and then c, which is 20. So the quadratic formula is x equals negative b, which is 1, plus or minus square root negative 1 squared, remember to have parentheses there, minus 4 times negative 1 times 20. Remember that everything that's under the radical is called a discriminant. And so we have 2 times negative 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work it out. So I have 1 plus or minus square root. And you probably want to go to the calculator to figure out the discriminant. So we got 81 for the discriminant over negative 2. So we have 1 plus or minus 9, since the square root of 81 is 9, divided by negative 2. So one answer is 1 plus 9 is 10 over negative 2, which is negative 5. The other answer is 1 minus 9, which is negative 4, divided by negative 2, which is 2. Number 8, I have 2x squared minus 5x plus 6, and we're going to set it equal to 3x minus 2, since both are equal to y. Now, to use a quadratic formula, I have to make sure that I set it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 3x from negative 5x, and I'm going to add 2 to the right side and add 2 to 6. So I have 2x squared minus 8x plus 8 equals 0. I have to identify a, which is 2, b, which is negative 8, and c, that is 8. What you want to do is you want to use a quadratic formula, so you have x equals negative b, which is positive 8, plus or minus square root. The discriminant, you have negative 8 squared minus 4 times 2 times 8 divided by 2 times 2. So we have 8 plus or minus square root. So go to your calculator to evaluate the discriminant. Parentheses, negative 8 squared minus 4 times 2, and then times 8, right? You get 0. So 2 times 2 is 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now, if you wanted to check this in case you think it might be wrong, go to the graph. So you have 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. And then also make sure that you graph the linear function, which is 3x minus 2, right? So it only intersects it at one place. And to find that out, you go to Menu, Analyze Graph, Intersection, and there it is, 2. In business, a break-even point is a point XY at which the graphs of the revenue and cost function intersect. For one manufacturing company, the revenue for producing X items is given by the function, and the cost for producing X items is given by. Find all the break-even points. So we have y equals negative x squared plus 10x plus 5. And then the other equation is y equals 2x plus 12. And it told us that it's when both of them intersect. So they've already told you that the break-even is when they both intersect. It tells you right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this using the quadratic formula. So I'm going to set them both equal to each other. And remember that if I'm going to use a quadratic formula, I'm going to have to set the equation equal to 0. So I subtract 2x from both sides. And I subtract 12 from both sides. So you have negative x squared plus 10x minus 7 equals 0. So I need to evaluate, or I have to identify a, which is negative 1, b, which is 10, and then c, it's negative 7. So I have x equals negative b, which is negative 10, plus or minus square root 10 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 7 divided by 2 times negative 1. So x equals negative 10 plus or minus square root. And what you want to do is go to your calculator to evaluate the discriminant. $72 divided by negative 2. So the first answer is parentheses negative 10 plus the square root of 72 divided by negative 2. 0.75, and then the other one is negative 10 minus the square root of 72. Make sure you have parentheses divided by negative 2, and it says 9. So x equals 0.75 or x equals 9. And if you wanted to check this out, you would have to graph this. So I'll just come over here and change this. So you have negative x squared plus 10x plus 5. And then the linear equation is 2x plus 12. You might want to zoom standard or zoom in. I'm sorry, zoom out. Okay, so menu, analyze graphs, intersection. So there's a 1. And the 7. So obviously we did something wrong here. I got to make sure that I wrote this right. So you have negative x squared plus 10x plus 5. And this is 2x plus 12. So we have negative 1 is A. B is 10. Oh, C, I put negative 7. Should have been 5 here. So, no, I take that back. It should be negative 7. Oh, I see the mistake. So we have 10x minus 2x, that's 8x. So this should have been 8x. So this should have been negative 8. This should have been negative 8. This should have been 8. So the answer should have been x equals 1 or x equals 7. And if I made the corrections and redid the work, you would see that it would be correct. So I want you to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and pause it and then I'm going to fix it. So I made the corrections. I didn't have it right here. I had put 10. So 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Square root of 36 is 6. So it's negative 8 plus 6 divided by 2, negative 2. Which gives you 1. Negative 8 minus 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 14 over negative 2, which gives you 7. So that was our answer, 1 and 7.